Sager, how liveth the people? It is later than usual, bro. It's true. You got me. Guilty. Guilty as charged. Guilty as barged. How we doing, Sage? It's like 1 a.m. for you? My prince. Sage is probably chilling. Plush pillow. What day is it? Wednesday. Just crushed some software demands. Now it's time for some hardware. Am I right? Oh, man. Sitting to love both. I love that. What? 9 p.m.? Okay, I was way off. What? Got you. Well, bed is a good place to be, and you deserve some rest. Seriously, though, bro, I hope you're feeling a hundo and crushing it. You're feeling great. Appreciate you coming through. I had some auditions this morning, which were solid, and honestly, like, just such a crazy, hectic. There's so much pitching and auditioning, and so much casual development. I'm gonna pass it to my friend. Hey, my agent liked it. Ba 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 ba. And it's both everything and nothing. You know what I mean? But there's been a lot of the rattling of the machine of showbiz in my life. Mostly good. But we'll see. We'll see how for real some of these people are, right? Okay, guys, happy Wednesday. It is the afternoon here in LA. It's overcast as hell. We are approaching session 4, I guess, of this new campaign. It's been cracking off. Basically, the party... Where did we even pick up? The party was, looking for the reason of why these kids had basically been, like, roughed up. Their dad was missing. They go down into the underbelly of this traveling city, and there come upon one of what I hope to be the main kind of antagonists of the campaign, a substance known as the Dark Ichor. And it's very much like players versus environment type vibe, right? I won't drag you all the way through it, but basically like when the world... when magic threaded from the world, when this great loss occurred, there was an enormous amount of people that were obviously trying to fix this, prevent this. One of which was this altruistic family and group of sisters that set out to kind of set the natural order back where it once had been. And they failed, and in doing so created this strange substance, this blending of the astral plane touched by these demonic forces and pulled onto the material. So in my mind, it was like as if the substance of space was grabbed, pulled through hell, and then dropped in earth. And the result is like a semi-sentient dark substance that I call the Dark Ichor. Ozzy, how we living, baby boy? Bugles up. I'm so pumped on this campaign. How you doing though, dude? How are we living? So they saw the substance attacked. As they defeated it, like pulling herself out of it. This is sort of like this very old sort of woman. Help me, please, help, pull me free. And they're like, oh, what the fuck? And thinning kind of silver hair. And they passed a sort of a skills check, pulled her out. And as she was pulled free from this ichor, like the stretching of this like pseudopod type creature extended towards it, almost like clasp hands that didn't want to release. And as they inched her away and then pulled her feet and then up out of, they watched years of life wash off of her face. This 70, 80-year-old human female, now 50 as she lurched 5 feet away, and then 30 as they pulled her free from the substance itself. And then once they reached the street, she looked no older than 19, 20. And you guys know I love like playing with sort of, timelines. But I wanted to make a nod to that, like this sense that this very, powerful, purposeful caster went to the grandfather tree, went to try to set back the natural world or do what she could for this great tree. Failed and was pulled into this strange astral between. A bit frustrated, but in better news, I am in a Vampire the Masquerade campaign. Let's go. I fucking love that. You're like, frustrated, but there is good news. I love that there's good news at the end of that. Yeah, ads will get you. There's a way around that, Azzy. There's a way around. There's a workaround. I have never played Vampire the Masquerade. I've just interviewed Extol, who's incredible. He's a very talented game master across numerous systems, but I was meant to play in one of his VTM campaigns, and it was like going to be an 8-episode actual play. I'm not really sure, but I was in episode 4 or 5, and it fell apart at like episode 2 or 3. Nobody's fault, I don't think. Just kind of one of those things. You know there's a way around the ads, Azzy. I was saying Vampire the Masquerade is fucking rowdy. I've interviewed some DMs, or GMs rather, that run it. And I was meant to be in one, but they ended up canceling the game after like the second stream. Okay, so they pull out this woman that becomes a girl. As she's like pulled away from this thing and moves forward, she begins to sort of recollect herself, who she is, what she's about. She gives them some information and ultimately a ring. One of the rings of the Four Sisters. So, party has one of the 4 rings. The Ring of the Stars? Something like that? Let's double check. But yeah, I've got a couple things I want to kind of throw down. I want to open the Dark Sun Bestiary and see what's up. See what's the deal with it. Okay, where are we? Right here, close. Cool. Nancy, Betty, Phyllis, and Mildred. Mildred is who they met. Gold, silver banded rings with appropriate gems. And diamond. Okay, cool. She bereft the loss, a fey that was. Okay, cool. So it's basically this like star aluminum quartz ring. I don't know if you guys have ever seen aluminum quartz, but it's fucking cool. My character is a hitman. Oh, fuck yeah. But less, I am the darkness, I am the shadows, I am Batman. And more, I can't believe our neighbor of 13 years was actually a cannibal. We've all been there. It's hilarious. Yeah, hitman that's just like, well, honestly, I saw them cut off an old woman in traffic, and I knew what needed to be done. Respect, man. I want to hear how that goes. Is it like a home game? What's the deal? How'd you get hooked up? I really, really want to play VTM. I'm also loving how Dionizio is such a big part of this campaign. Dionizio. Cool. Now, the question of like, what do these rings do is a good one. They activate the solar sphere. You need all 4 of them. Kind of like nuclear keys. And that's enough. But I feel like they would do more. So something to sort of ruminate on, but we don't need to get too caught up in that. But one of the things she described over and over was, I am it and it is I. I am one with the Ica. I see what it sees. I touch what it touches. There is a seller here, a man that knows not what he holds. And she described this innocuous pitcher, this vase. And it was basically like a fruit seller that didn't know what he had, wasn't even selling vases. But if they went there and got it, the value of it could be brought to the tradesman, could be brought to the head broker of this merchant city and traded. She's going to leave it up to them for another ring, for something more. I wanted to give the party a powerful card to play within the kind of politics of the world. And then we'll see what they do. Hitman for the cartel. Okay. Find the wrong end of the cartel's gun. I feel like that's easy to do. Sorry to hear that. But he wakes up in the morgue after already being turned. Interesting. He didn't remember anything about his life except for the face of the man who killed him. Fuck yeah. John Smith, huh? Let's go. Discoverer of the New World. He's like, I found this land with people on it. John Smith is the OG white guy, John Smith. Shout out. What's the deal with the game? Like, you guys playing once a week, once a month? And forgive me, I am like getting over, frankly, the flu. To wit. Let us pull. Let us move forward in this dance of death. Search for the dome. And just to give you guys kind of a feel, cool. Basically, they're like here, near the Smuggler's Rest, just south of the Forked Tongue. They're pretty close to the city of Balak. And I described some of the Templars of Balak coming through and beating up Dionicio. They found Dionicio sort of like pulled up onto one of the partitions of the market stalls, beaten within an inch of his life. Some Templars from Balak, they do not like what the Veiled Alliance stands for. And the Veiled Alliance is sort of like, kind of like Dark Sun's version of the Harpers, dare I say? Maybe? They're sort of like constantly working for the good. They're like vibing people for the good. Completely based around being the perfect assassin. Yeah, I wish I knew more about the skills. Invisibility, shape-shifting, that sounds dope. Basically the perfect assassin. So now he's working his way through the ranks to put a bullet in the man that killed him. Oh, let's fucking go. And is the man that killed him like kind of like a cartel underboss, you know what I mean? I assume there's a ton of bad blood. I don't know how you silence a 44, but sweet. I feel like the silencer is like 18 inches long. Right? 44 is a big piece. But let me show you the dome, because after they went, they got this picture. That's where we left the session. And now, potentially, presumably, they're going to go and try to enter the dome, the centermost part of this area. And see if they can trade this picture for something more. So, for me, it just felt fucking good. Like, felt good to sort of start things off, get the campaign up and running, out and about. So now I want to prepare the dome, prepare that sort of scene with the tradesmen a little bit. That's going to be, yeah, whatever. And then sort of the tone hooks. I just have a couple ideas that I want to get down. I'm not sure when I'll introduce them, but we'll just fuck with it. I don't know. It's baller as fuck. Yo, it's baller as fuck. Fair enough. Let's just say it's custom made. I like that. Where did that vamp get a silenced 44? Oh, it's custom. You're fucking damn right it is. And when he's fighting the other hitmen, Jack Harley. Okay, so Jack Harley is the guy he's going to kill. We're after Jack Harley. Which arched windows? One central spire, thrusting nakedly into the sky, burning sky. The court, this space in front is the name of the character, but he doesn't find out till his killer tells him. Okay, so he switches it up because Jack Harley's dead. Dead. Sick. Yeah, what's like? When are you playing? I would love to get in on VTM, man. I was being brought in by Extol to play a detective. I was gonna I forget like exactly who the guy was, but I was gonna play him like he was sort of just like a pretty straight edge cop. Kind of Lower East Side, doing what he had to do. But he's following the trail of a murder created by the party. So I was sort of like an NPC antagonist that was maybe going to get killed by a bunch of vampires. Honestly, I was fucking scared. I did have a gun. I remember that. I was like, man, I'm going to fucking blast. Guarantee you Papa's going to blast. Okay, so only we know his name is Jack Harley. Okay. Sounds like you got it all built out. Have you guys played a session yet, Azzy? Or are we still in the deep pre-sesh dive? Fronted by a set of huge wooden doors, held on with enormous iron hinges, delicately sculpted reliefs inset in the wood. Iconography. The doors are from elsewhere, pulled from their settings and now held here. The entrance to the heart of this city of merchants. I love Caravanity. I'm vibing with it. Of the dome is a pentagonal courtyard, currently being held by other things. Still waiting on the DM. Got it. I think damn DM presumed, right? Still waiting on the damn DM. The time will come. Man, that sounds so rowdy. Have you ever played VTM? Like, I've only, interviewed people that ran it. And then whenever I built this character, I feel like I got pretty familiar. Like, had to go through the sheet, was going through kind of the handbook for VTM, the player's handbook equivalent. But without actually playing a game, right? I feel like with most things, other than maybe checkers. Now, checkers, you still got to play. Yeah, no, of course. Heck yeah. Hey, man. People got to do what they got to do. Are you guys going to be like super hardcore with counting ammo and stuff or what? Currently occupied by 3 enormous. And this is where we need to pull up. The Dark Sun book. You guessed it. Then I guess it's actually in campaign books. Beep. Okay, so I think this is it, eh? Cool. God, this thing looks rowdy as hell. Rowdy! Yeah. That's hilarious. As in, like, he'll pick up 2 bullets and push it. The more specific we get, the more evocative I feel like it becomes. That's awesome. Yeah, I feel like Azzy and Amon are constantly neck and neck for, like, deepest pre-sesh backstory. And I'm here for it. Huh. Well, maybe not this guy. The Brax is a huge 15-foot-tall creature, a mammalian in reptilian stock. Articulated shells cover its back and shoulders, square lizard-like head. But it's using weapons? Spiked club? Cool. A hunting cactus. I need to remember this. This is great. A hunting cactus or 1 drain. That's 25 feet of movement. Interesting. I'm loving this, like, poison spine and this blood drain. That to me is very cool. On getting silver bullets. Yeah, okay. See, I think that was a big thing I talked about with Extol. Was some version of, like, do I have silver bullets? And he more or less was like, no, I don't think so. Because I think, like, where my human was within, I forget what they call, like, the kindred, right? The kindred and then the non-kindred, whatever. But I think his presentation was that my character had never seen, just wasn't aware that vampires and werewolves existed. And so he's like, why would you have them? I'm like, okay. Then I hope I don't get dropped. Yeah, you need to find yourself a jeweler, Azzy, and just buy some silver, big dog. Okay, this could be a good one. Medium beast, unaligned. Wow. A tortoise-shaped creature. Reed-like appendages protruding from its shell. Dirty brown. Mistaken for a patch of dead plant growth. Cool. Interesting. Will lie motionless for hours until a low-flying creature passes overhead. That sounds like Red Sage, am I right?
I'm the man up in this piece.
I meant to hit this one. Let's go. That was such a burn. The Chathrang will lie motionless for several hours until a low-flying creature passes overhead. You've been burnt, Sage. The sinewy cord uses to tether. Okay, so it shoots out of the fucking bamboo? Wow. Look at this. They shoot shit out that people make rope out of? Great care. Interesting. Interesting. This is cool. All of these are very fucking cool. So do we find a Chathrang anywhere? Anywhere in the wide world of sports? Okay, I'm seeing some images. Seeing some shit out here looking cool. You know I fuck with turtles, right? We're all clear on my stance with turtles, yes? No? Come on, dog. You make your own bullets. Let's fucking go. Oh, hell yeah. I respect you waiting for like a non-meta reason to make the bullets. Respect. This is absolutely bananas. Yep. I got my crazy straw, guys. It's been that kind of day. So, I think we'll only have 2 of these things. 2 enormous Chothrangs. Towering. Foot tall. With a slimy shell. Covered bamboo-like protrusions, like a big rotten turtle that has a bamboo swamp of green-brown stalks. Atop its shell. Boop. Cool. I like that. Yeah, no, for sure. But it's also just like, you know, it's just as simple as asking the DM, like, hey, has my character come across werewolves? You know? Because if they say yes, then, like, psh, you could roll in day 1 with that going down. Yeah, I can't wait to hear about it, Azzy. It sounds fun, man. Like, I really have been wanting to play that. Oh, my God. With that in mind, holy steep. Has anyone played Blood on the Clock Tower? Hello. That is the wild. It is crazy. Sort of like Werewolf on steroids, if you will. But played over the weekend and it was awesome. Like, I was very impressed. Thought it was super fun. Thought it was rowdy. But man, I can't stop thinking about wanting to put together a stream of it. Can you imagine? Oh, it'd be very good. Okay, so Chothrangs, they are used for their rope. Boo-doo-doo-doo-doo. I really like that detail. I think it's very cool. Chothrangs have long, intertwined hair. It's that lash that shoot from their shell protrusions. This greatly sought after for making rope. Cool. I like just sort of like having stuff like that because it really grounds me into the world. A pack of, let's see. Oop. Scusami. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, I want weekly updates of that, Azzy. I want the tea spilled, my good man. Okay. So, yo, Aman, what's up, dog? Just mentioning your name. And you half appeared. Hope you're living well. Happy Wednesday. Azzy is getting down on some Vampire the Masquerade, and frankly, we're all jealous. But I'm preparing the next sort of opening encounter for my Tuesday sesh. The party made contact with the Fae that was a old human that essentially tried to set things right and was pulled into this strange astral darkness. She's going to be sort of a through line for one of the main hooks, which is this, you know, strange kind of astral lens that they need 4 rings to open. But I'm trying to get a feel for where this group of elves Okay, let's see what the fuck this even is. What? Whoa, extra planar travel capabilities? What? Upcoming Monday is a new sesh with a version of my Herbal Healer Witch. Let's go. Like, her religion is basically being, like, nosy. Let's go. Actually, I don't think that's simple. I love the idea. I mean, like, to be killed and come back, I think is compelling as fuck. You know? And only really something you're doing in, like, a vampire fucking game. I think that's rowdy. I'll tell you what, though. Coming up with it in 20 seconds, though. Untended Gate. Interesting. I'm reading this guy right here. From 20 years ago. This comment was June 7th, 2005. Shout out to my guy Zombie Gleemax. Where are they now? Well, this guy is like a great Dark Sun asset. Okay, this is very cool. Ooh. Crimson Monolith, Dark Sun, Dark Ambient. We gotta listen to this. Bongos. Let's see what the deal is here. Oh, now we vibing. It's just like wind. Okay, cool. I like secrets. But can you keep them? Let's go. So it's almost like a bipolar goddess. I've worshipped less. I'm on. I like coloring it like that, Azzy. See, that's the type of specific stuff that gets really evocative. I think as the campaign goes on, you can almost describe it as just hearing that click from that cockback, right? It's dope. A pack of Crimson Monolith. Pack of elves. They're from the loose cloth wrappings, much worn, and many naked above the waist. Were covered in red. Looked like sun scalding at first, but the phone clearly die. A crimson touch across this grayscale city. Cool. I love that. Yeah, I feel like that's why. I mean, because a revolver period is less likely to jam, right? Okay, so the Dark Sun, like, the monolith is just wind. Like, that's cool. I need some pop. Okay, so it's just wind. Okay. Hey, there's a time and a place for wind, right? Like days when I'm trying to fly a kite. or if I need to throw a paper airplane particularly far. Right? Great moments for wind. But do I need 25 minutes of wind? My guy, you could have called that like Empty Alley. There's nothing that makes the Crimson Monolith at all. Although the cover art was cool. That's what got me to click. Okay, so we'll pick up. I will recap them. And then we'll enter with them like right in this area of the dome. I want to show them some of the beasts of the world, these chothrangs. Show them how these things are harvested. How like the natural world is changed and corrupted. This is me just being OCD. And then at some point I'll show them this pack of like wild running elves, right? And I want them to have... They have a group of 7 or 8 drow in chains. Collared neck, wrist, and ankle. Then bound. One each to the other. Their robes look once fine, now faded and torn. Their eyes are, sorry, my bad, boo-doop. Their eyes are distant and long broken. So I want to show that, like, a bit of surprise. You would find even fighters. It is gruesome. Too base. I think maybe they get some shit, right? Should I give the revolver a name? So I've got a guy that is in one of the Start Playing campaigns. This dude is awesome. And he's playing a paladin. And his sword is the, like, something unwavering justice blade of unwavering justice sword. It's the unwavering justice blade of unwavering justice sword. And I don't know why it's like the funniest shit in the world to me. He's like, I'm going to take out this unwavering blade of unwavering justice. And like, obviously that's a bit, but I think it's almost like having a character that would name a weapon that is constantly killing things says a lot about him. I feel like yours would be called like Judge. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I have named a great sword whenever I played a paladin. I guess paladins just be naming swords. That's fine. So... Dragora. Beneath a cushioned canopy. Protected from the sun. Her bald head glistens in the noonday. And her dark eyes cut across the courtyard like razors. Man, forgive me, I'm getting zapped. Man, Sunday, Monday, your boy was not feeling good. I was feeling lousy. Dirty handy. That sounds like a middle school experience. But that ain't a bad thing, brother. I think whatever choice you make will be the right one. Honestly, that's what I think. She's fronted by 2 golden guards, and the doors of the dome are open halfway. Cool. An Asimar mercy monk. A sickle. And is that sort of like an angel of death kind of vibe I'm on? Yeah, I've never played a monk. But I fucking love them. Like, they're very random. I feel like it's a class that can be colored and flavored a lot of ways. Right? Okay, cool. So the dome itself. Steps lead up to a circular porch. At the bottom of which you see no door. You are told to walk you 3 with me, and you 3 follow me. You are split and then led in opposite directions. After several steps of circling the dome itself, you pass each other. Somewhat sheepishly. And this continues. 3, 4, 10 times. Okay. I kind of want it to be like a random, like, Walls of Jericho kind of situation. This dome, cool, is like the center of Caravanity, right? Of this magical city. And it's a city that, like, travels, that drifts across the sand and is one of the last, available free markets. So the good, like the innermost of this magical cachet, would be preciously protected. And the only way I think you can really do that is with some sort of magic or mechanical brilliance, right? Or just get like 100 fucking monks. We about to chop it up. This, by the way, is the Fae that was. There's like an old version and then a young version. This, of course, is the... Not going to say. Golems are cool. I wonder if, like, there's multiple doors. But some of the doors are mimics. That could be very fucking cool. Right? Yeah, there are guards there for sure. Right, there's 2 golden guards in front of Dragora. The sound of stone cracking. And doors. Double doors. Begin to shake with quite a bit of noise and dust from the actual wooden base of the bottom of the dome. A bunch of changeling guards, like they keep looking back and they are changing their face and then their race and then their entire form. That's hilarious. Okay, I need to keep that. Done with that. Some of this is just very fucking cool. All the plants that come out and kill you. A cloud ray. I like that. Cool. Crodalus are pretty clutch. They've already fought a Dagoran. Damn, all these are fucking rowdy. A dwarf banshee? That guy means business. Imagine a better group of bodyguards completely. At times they just look like a group of like well-dressed children trying to incite an attack, and then they just ooh, this is cool. Wow, this is awesome. The giant antlion is definitely going to make more than one appearance in the beginning of this campaign. This is fucking rowdy. All right. There's a caged... What's it called? Antlion. Cool. With enormous jagged claws, pincers, the length of its body. Damn it. Covered in rusty red hairs. Wow, that's crazy. Yes, dude. I think, I mean, they're going to come across so much sand shit. I do think that the dome... I think in several of the window ensconcements, sandstone golems rest. They look like gargoyles, but of scaled lizards and multi-eyed bugs. Cool. So this is just kind of like the vibe, right? Sandstone golems, huge courtyard. This is where like some of the best is being held. There's a the doors themselves are magical and pulled from one of the citadels if someone makes a history check. And there's a caged antlion, again very dangerous. Maybe they'll come across one later, who knows. They've got a bunch of chothrangs, these huge like turtle-like quadrupeds with these stalks that shoot fucking ropes. Let's go. You know I love a turtle that shoots ropes. And then last but not least, a pack of elves, sort of looking a bit rabid and feral. They have a group of 7 to 8 drow in chains, collared about the neck, wrist, and ankle. These drow's robes look once fine, now faded and torn. Dragora waits beneath there. The dome itself is in there. If they come in, they're let in. Inside the dome appears enormous. The bottom floor of a great house or banquet hall. A magical pocket space. Waiters in sharp gold button jackets attend, and you're greeted by a lovely halfling woman. Hairston. She's like 197, 98. Yes. Dude, yes, Amon. I'm so glad you remembered that. So glad you remembered that. Let's see if I have Underground Market in here. Nope. Let's add that shit. I think that's part of the political state. Yeah, Fallen Coast, magical items, cool. Natural order, political climate, totally. So this is where this goes. 9 cities, Mages of the White Shadow, Lucaria, cool. I think we call it the Dark Market. The Buried Market. I think the Buried Market is fucking rowdy. Whoa. Cool. So this is going to be... Some players wish to search for a dark market only to end up in a market for low light sensitive. They're like, cool, we're going to get an organ or something very illicit. I'm looking for some heron. Oh, it's just darkly illuminated. Okay. Hey, man, be careful what you wish for. A drow outpost and center for bartering. Protected loosely by the held truce between drow and the dwarven citadels. This is a place where information, arms, and goods can be bought and sold to an intense and unregulated degree. I like that. Break the rules and go to sleep forever. Yeah, I wanted to put down some of the intro, but another idea I had yesterday whenever I was thinking about the stream was really just the drow, right? I was like, I kind of want to show the drow, some of the drow being like captured and being sold, and have people react like, dude, like you would come here and sell drow? Because I think drow have that level of impact. I think many of the sorcerer kings are drow. Wow, that's a discovery I just made. Interesting. The sorcerer kings are drow. This is rowdy. I think half and half, right? Let's see. Draj. So I think this is... I think boink. Boink. And then Selic. And it's actually Balak, is it not? Yeah. Cool. Cool. Yeah, I like that a lot, Amon. That's good. Balak is not so Selic, Edarek, and Kern. Sweet. Sweet, 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 sweet. So these are all drow. Sorcerer King. Cool. I fucking love that. Get in here, Razzie. Bad reputation, they can use force. Yeah, I mean, like, the drow basically, like, ended the last campaign on top, right? Like, they're the ones that sort of, like, made it happen, figured it out. And so... yeah, it's all just kind of, like... I thought that they would deal with the drow in the last campaign. I thought they would either bring them to task through a series of like combats, or more likely deal with the situation in the hells and therefore come to the drow to barter. Like, hey, we solved your problem, you know? Like, we took care of what your issue was. Now get the fuck out of the surface. You know what I mean? Yo, cantrips! Ah! How dare you catch me unawares, cantrips? Cuties! Look at you guys coming in as I'm just pontificating about the drow. Incredible. Cantrips, you're the best. Very, very generous of you. Appreciate you guys coming through. Rising Rose, get in here. You guys get an extra attack, or your first attack is at advantage, because I'm surprised. I'm stunned. I am surprised. I'm Carpe the DM, actor, voiceover artist. I'm in Red Dead Redemption 2, probably my biggest credit. But I love D&D, and I love tabletop, Call of Cthulhu. Honestly, I believe it's like an art form unto itself. And right now I'm prepping a Dark Sun hybrid for a 5.5 edition D&D campaign I'm running. So it's a good time to be here. Yo, we love tieflings, man. Although the eternal question of who's hotter, a tiefling or a tabaxi, right? I don't know. Ash Baker, appreciate you. A lot of times we'll bring on DMs, interview them, see how they like to do things. But I'm curious if any of you guys, also cantrips, like, how was the stream? A Dimension Door opens. I love it. How was y'all stream, man? Like, were y'all playing an actual play? Were you prepping? Oh, Baker. Not whenever I'm trying to introduce myself. A half and half? Can you imagine? Like, that would be a Hellcat, right? But man, I love D&D prep. That's like the majority of what I stream. And that's what I do on Wednesdays. And it's Wednesday. So we were drawing chat's wonderful creature ideas. Shut up. Hey, the 9 was a choice. I would say Fire Genasi is hotter. Amon, you are punishing us. Well done. You know Amon, the legend. Cantrips, I love that. I didn't know you could draw like that. Like, that's rowdy. I was going through some of this, and it's like more of my performative talents lie in the actual doing of things, as opposed to like the sketching, the creating. I'm basically just a clown, you know? They're like, can you draw something? I'm like, no, but I could juggle some bananas for you. Like a chimpanzee in a zoo. Summer Eladrins are pretty hot too. All right, Scarly J. I don't know why they gave me such a great hiccup. Summer Eladrins, well, hopefully it's the summer of the Eladrin, right? A hellhound tiefling is a thing. Well, hopefully a tiefling that runs a hellhound. Some sort of boarding, some sort of pet grooming. Seems adjacent. Because I want to bring y'all up to speed. Just tell people you draw abstract art. You know what, man? That's what I do, but it's all just like that turkey that kids make out of tracing their hand. You know what I mean? I have wanted to do a bit, which is like me at Echo Park Lake, sort of sitting down to draw people's caricatures for free, and then just tracing turkeys. But it kind of feels like I would be burning them. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to make fun of them. I'm just sort of, it seems very stupid and funny to me. But it's not funny enough to shoot that as a sketch, right? Anyway, so I'm using my Wednesday. I really appreciate that, guys. Appreciate y'all coming in, man. It's a good time to be alive. Got to take care of each other. Got to take care of yourselves. And you got to occasionally step out of the real world by playing tabletop fantasy. At least that's what we believe here. So this is going to be session 4, right, of a campaign that I ran for about 4.5 years. It ended last September. It began as Dragons of Icespire Peak, and then it became like a lot more of a homebrew after that. And the campaign ended in September with essentially like a partial party kill, which I know, that sucks. It was tough. It was tough on all of us. It was a tough moment. And frankly, like, They were so close, man, and they'd accomplished so much. But it was one of those things where just the rolls got away from them. They were fighting a lich. They were fighting the last remaining, like, BBEG, the part of this kind of triumvirate of evil. And ultimately they did survive, but we kind of faded to black a bit in that sort of lingering melancholy of half of this party of 6 being slain. And one of them being killed via finger of death. After he'd been killed, this spell was cast and he rose under the control of this lich. Another party member was thrown through a portal into the fiery lake of hell. Shit happens, all right? I say that to say that shit happens. So buckle up. But now we are picking back up. And we kind of were playing around. Oh, Lepa, get in here. You really did. You really, really did. Luna from Hell of a Boss is possibly to play a character without homebrewing anything. I love that. Luna from the Hell of a Boss. Let's investigate. Oh my God. Okay. She's a receptionist. Already has my respect. She's adopted. Double respect. I don't know anything about Hell of a Boss. Okay, she's an antisocial hellhound. Bingo. With wolf-like attributes. I hope that my epilogue reads the same way. He was a hellhound with wolf-like qualities. That's all I'm rooting for. But whenever we started this new campaign, it basically was going to be picking up in the same world with different characters further down the timeline. And so I wanted as a DM to figure out like how, like I didn't want to run high fantasy again. I mean, I love that Arthurian Lord of the Rings Middle Earth. But I was like, maybe, Spelljammer. But Dark Sun, baby boy. Dark Sun, baby boy. It's been calling my name. Carpe. And I listened. I heard the siren's song. And like a swimmer in the sea of silt, I was pulled to my death. So basically, I'm like, how do I port over Faerun? How do I port over the Sword Coast and make it Dark Sun? And there's a lot of ways to do this. A lot of people on Reddit will tell you the wrong ways to do it, which is basically if you don't do it their way. But in my world, it was this thing called the Great Loss. There was a conflict between Silvery Moon and the Drow. And basically the mages of the Spellguard fucked some shit up. They were trying to pull too much of this power through these astral conduits and undid the moorings of magic itself. The threads of Mithra stretched back from whence they had been pulled. And the entire natural world in the decades that followed atrophied. This sort of trickle-down effect, the result of both hubris and conflict, and the inability of sort of the humanoids of the surface to find an answer, had forced the hand of the Spellguard. Bing, bang, boom. Now magic is gone. Now the world is like burning. The crops don't renew like they did. Shantea has left. Saloon has left. The moon will hang unfazing for weeks, for months. And then you will see it slide, waxing to full in a day, and then back, waning to a half crescent and holding for weeks, for months. It's as if the moon itself is off its orbit. That's a great line, Baker. It's like, also, they don't know it yet, but we're playing Call of Cthulhu. That's funny as hell to me. Let's go. Yo, Catchy, like, I follow you, do I not? No, I think I've just seen you a bunch. I'm just dropped you a follow. Thank you so much for rating. Truly, thank you for trusting me with your audience, for coming through and hanging. It means the world to me. Please, scoot, feed thyself, Give yourself just a little like shoot of intention to the food. Send it some love. But yeah, come back through, man. Appreciate you stopping by. Also, anybody that is like drawing on stream or just drawing, period. This shit is so impressive to me. I'm just not gifted like that. It's very hard for me to do it. Okay, so yeah, that's how we got from that campaign to this. I think the Dark Sun source books are very fucking cool. I'm pulling a lot from this 4th edition. We are playing 5.5e rules, although Baker, I love that. Like, I just interviewed a DM that runs Pathfinder 2nd edition. Or no, she's still running 1st edition because her table loves it that much. Yo, Roots. Man, well, snack number 1 is whatever Cantrips is going to eat right now. Because nothing is as tasty as the snack that a hungry person is going to get. Could be cashews. Could be a banana custard. You have no idea, right? Hunger has you in its grips. So that's one. But big fan of... What do I have the most? I'll tell you what I really don't eat. And I said cashews. I have to avoid nuts because like they get all in my teeth and in my throat and stuff. And I can't eat them quickly. You know what I mean? So that's one anti-snack. This is boring as fuck, but you guys know it. You guys know it because it happens on stream. I own it. Cashews is a banana. Excuse me, a banana. Big fan of having a banana. You know, biting off a bit of it, upping myself, getting myself sort of stay back in the mix, back in the chamber. You know, and just one like half a banana will change your whole life, change your outlook for the moment, right? And that for me like is a standby. Like my wife will be like, "Do you need a banana?" Which if I'm too far gone will piss me off. But if I'm still able to hold on to a shred of grace, it is hilarious. Keld, thank you. Oh, beer. Okay, see, I was going to lead with beer. To be honest, when I'm DMing though, I will drink. But I prefer red wine. Prefer like a spicy Italian. I mean, Nebbiolo, of course. Doesn't have to be, though. Barbera. Fuck. Hit me with a young Sangiovese. Doesn't matter. I'm a slut for Italian wines. That is so aggressive. But I completely agree, Keld. Okay. Thank you. The ultimate snack is that which you imbibe. But I'm feeling good about where this campaign is. So we're just starting. We're like 4 in. I want to add a couple hooks. So that's what I'm going to do here. And then we'll scoot. So these I'll just call floating hooks. One, I want to circle back with the Elves of the Crimson Monolith. Have discovered recently the Untended Gate. Aren't sure what it is. Are actually... Oh, this is fucking rad. In Caravanity to seek a lore master. Oh, that's cool as fuck. So, Dark Sun, right? The world has fallen. Everything has undone itself. Yo, Xenatos, bless you. Bless you. Bless you. Much appreciated, Prince. Keld, how in the hell are you waiting 45 years between sessions? But respect, dog. Respect. I do love beer. And I'll tell you what I've really been getting into has just been lagers. Never been a huge IPA guy. I'll have an occasional IPA. Hippas, dippas, nah. More of like a Pilsner, sour, Saison type of guy. But have really been enjoying, I mean, again, I'm such a basic bitch. Anchor Steams, Sierra Madre, great local LA brewer, great lager. But like cold, a little bit bitter, and a little bit like floral, right? That sort of like sharp complexity. Been playing MMO, to be honest, but I'm done with that. Got it. Man, it's hard. Hard to give up. Hard to give up anything, frankly. But Xenotos, how the fuck are you? Happy Wednesday. Pumped for this next sesh. G8. Soft-spoken AI bot. Cool. I love that. But I like the idea that in this fallen world, information, history, lore, the locations of things, the names of former events. Keld, get in here, legend. Appreciate you. All aboard. But the idea that in a fallen world, information is oftentimes more valuable, just as valuable, right? Just as hard to get as iron, as reliable water. And the idea that a group of nomadic elves has traveled to this traveling caravanity, this city known to be kind of one of the last merchant strongholds. That to me is fucking enticing. I think they could potentially hire the party, come and discover the magical properties. This is fucking cool as shit to me. Again, not that I'm like, oh, so good, Carpe, so good. More like, I'd love to be a player in that. Where I'm like, oh, wow. These are like kind of Spartan-esque traveling nomadic warriors. But they just need like a librarian. You know? That to me is cool. This is I'm gonna code in purple. Oh my god, that's not it. Whoop. No, thank you. I'm going to code this, hopefully, in a highlighted purple, for the love of God. Purple I do for the astral aspects of the campaign. Green is for the natural world. And then red is for the impact of, like, the hells, the sorcerer kings, that kind of thing. Oh my god, you told me you were playing Oblivion, dude. You told me you were playing that. I mean, like, I love Oblivion. But but it's, yeah, I was about to pan over to the nursery. I have a 14-month-old. And we have his nursery right next to our living room because that's just like the only space we had. But it has made playing video games so fucking hard. So hard. Dude, everything. I'm basically playing Switch handheld. Which, as you know, playing Smash handheld, way different. Sucks. I've been playing Hollow Knight, which I fucking love. And I've also been playing Baldur's Gate 1. Yeah? Did I rock anybody's world with the Baldur's Gate 1 shout out? Oh, Keld, I do appreciate that follow up. Good boy. But I'm glad you're here, man. Glad you're doing okay. It's good. I assume you've played Oblivion like a great amount, but it's so fun to go back and play something again. They could also be here because of a prophecy. Okay. Don't you dare tempt me with another prophecy. Hoilepa. I mean, guys. Okay. 3-minute recap. The first campaign began as Dragon of Icespire Peak, right? And so I was kind of like ready for it to be over around level 6 or 7 or whatever. But they did the campaign, they killed Cryovane, and they were like, sick, what's next? And I was like, oh. And I kind of worked in some elements of my own, but one of the things I'd referenced was what was called the Prophecy of the Dragon. And TBH, it was largely ripped off from the Wheel of Time, which I love. One of my favorite fantasy series. And dude, basically I like laid out an open-ended poem that described a dragon would come, fight the blot in the sun, bop, 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 bop. And then meticulously married certain elements of the campaign to the words I'd established years prior. And it was one of the most satisfying aspects I've ever DM'd. But Hoilepa, how dare you? How dare you? I appreciate it. How dare you try to drag me back into that? Because that shit is so hard. It is so hard. Right. Ugh. But maybe. How about this? Not a prophecy. Legend of the Dark Steppe, huh? When the world first fell, the elves scattered in shame, somewhat, for the rising of the drow, and the great blunder of the Spellguard. They wasted away, the numbers dwindling in the decades following the great loss. So they were visited by a floating island of natural bounty, a green reptilian creature. This is a turtle. Dark Steppe, baby. That led them to their first spring, then to the untended gate. The time will come. Oh my God, how dare you? Am I really going to do another poem? Well, for sure, a lot of this is going to be, like, the campaign is basically like political strife, the drow, the sorcerer kings, the impact of hell. Like the surface level, life is fucking hard. And then the people trying to restore the natural order, like fight off this astral encroachment, set back the way of the old gods, if that can even be done. That's sort of like the natural world struggle, player versus environment. But there's also this deep thread in purple of astral connection, of, at least in my homebrew, of what happened to create Dark Sun. That these great wizards, that the Spellguard of Silvery Moon were essentially trying to pull power so deeply, so directly from the goddess Mithra, the source of arcane magic, that it unspooled her seat within the night sky. And that the constellation of Mithra fell, like physically left the night sky. So I love the idea of them eventually having to go to the astral plane to set things right. And I wonder if maybe the elves view themselves as being like space warriors. You know what I mean? Is anybody in chat familiar with Wheel of Time? Specifically the Aiel? Because they kind of have a similar relationship. And I wonder, honestly, that sounds fucking cool to me. Okay. Then to the untended gate will come, not to fight, but to run. Long strides, scorched hides, an ascension. Towards the sun. The battle yet begun. The Mother Nature, the old begun. The old ways back and won. Cool. The elves are aliens who want to know who fucked up their world. So Huilepa, that's what I'm doing with this group that more or less is like almost coming from the astral plane. I think that there's a fair amount of that as well. I think that's totally fair. Who ruined our world? What humanoid could, without the help of more, of worlds, of the gods? We seek to know. To replace Or ashes with honey. Okay, well, that could be better, but we'll get something down. We'll come back to it. I like that. This is dope as shit. Okay, so Floating Hook, Elves of the Crimson Monolith. And then what was the other one? Oh, yeah, cool. So I like the idea of... And I don't even know how to describe this all that well, but like them overhearing a group, maybe one individual. It could be like a hawker in the market. Information for sale. Information worth knowing. Highest bidder. We started at 4 gold. Somebody that more or less like saw a herd of kokru, or God forbid saw legend of or like found a map that led to a place in the Sea of Silt that was untouched by the Great Loss. Like the source book of Dark Sun talks about a ton of that shit. Like there are pockets where nature remains. And I feel like knowing where that is would be incredibly powerful information, and could be, frankly, just like a galvanizing plot hook. Yep. So... Grove. A hawker. A human trying to sell information. He won a lottery. Was given access to a foreclosed housing structure. Within he found a series of useless chattel, but a map attached with a note to a lover long forgotten. I ain't seen it myself, but I paid a diviner. It's real. Flocks of kokrus and fruit growing right on the tree. I like the idea of just like sending them towards a mystery. And again, every DM is going to do it their way. And frankly, their way is like the right way. You got to do what works for you. I like the idea. I love it. Everybody resume stream. Ash is back. Yeah, man. Why'd you have to restart? What the fuck? What the beep? Hey, I'm glad you're back. That's all that matters. But like just sending the party off, like presenting them with hooks, especially early in the campaign. I like to throw out 5 or 6, right? And honestly, it often comes with downsides because it will be a bit of like decision paralysis, right? But the advantage is the party gets to choose. That's huge. Like their excitement, their interest can drive the narrative of the game. Always ideal. But 2, it gives me, the DM, the ability to circle back, to recognize like, okay, cool. Like actually they already heard about some of this, or like they saw the Crimson Monolith Elves. They didn't end up following them to the Untended Gate, but they heard the story, and then maybe they make it to the Evermoors and they come across a similar gate. Something like that. By tossing things down and establishing anything, it deepens what we have to present to the table next. So I like to throw out a bunch of hooks, baby. Throw them out. Okay. I think that's it, y'all. Your boy's got an audition tape due in at 4 o'clock. Got a jam on that. Time to jam. But I deeply, deeply appreciate all you guys. Blue Phoenix RPGs, Ash Baker, Uramis the Tiefling. Obviously, shout out to Catchy Cantrips. Keld52. Xenotos coming through and giving me a sip. Couple sips. I like to end every D&D stream by rating. So sweet of Cantrips. Truly, that made my day. But let's go... Let me see. Same category. Let me see. I like to find somebody that's like doing prep. Just because like that's what I've been doing. I don't know. I like watching DMs prep. Let me see. A lot of actual plays. Oh! Stormwreck Isle. Okay, I thought that was Dragon of Icebar Peak. I got very excited. But hang with me. We're going to send it off. We're going to make someone else's day. And it is going to be well worth it. Character building. Let's go. Okay, that's in Italian. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with the little Italian. Un po' di parole italiane. Okay, we're going to hide in on Danger. I like things. I'm just being too picky. I want someone that's on camera and is creating D&D content. All right, fuck it. We're going to go into Danguro. They're doing some map making on a deserted island. Seems pretty dope. So we'll give them what we can give. Guys, truly, thank you for coming through. Thank you for the support and the follows. I'll be back next Wednesday, if not before. Take care of each other. Take care of yourselves. And help me make Danguro's day by dropping them a little raid. Hey, no big deal. We're coming in. We're being friendly. You know what I mean? We're ready to go. I guarantee you they're going to be excited. And we've done it.